Friday marked the one-year anniversary of the Russian-Ukraine war. The U.S. and Western powers gathered together and they responded by applying economic sanctions against Moscow and providing military equipment to Kiev. In an earlier blog, I predicted that Ukraine could not survive without the help of the Western allies. I also said that the sanctions would not harm Russia. I was right about the economic sanctions, but not quite right about Ukraine. The war has gone on much longer than I think most people expected, and it is now into its second year. And exactly how much longer it is going to last, I don't know, but it certainly is now in a protracted period of military conflict with no immediate solution in sight. Road Dahl's classic children's tales have been saved from the censor's axe. Penguin's publishers announced this week that it was later this year going to release what it calls the Road Dahl Classic Collection, all of the children's tales in their original form. The company received a torrent of well-deserved criticism when Puffin, the children's division of Penguin, announced that it was revising some of the language, removing language that might be offensive to some readers. The grown-ups at Penguin stepped forward and made a smart decision by announcing that uncensored versions of Road Dahl's classics will be released later this year. Dumb men. My wife would say that's redundant. Maybe so. But CNN broadcaster Don Lemon certainly proved that that was true. In a recent broadcast, he announced that GOP presidential candidate Nikki Haley was past her prime. Well, the female colleagues on the same broadcast with Lemon challenged him to explain that remark. And he said, well, he had looked it up on Google, and women are in their peak at about 20s and 30s. So at age 51, Nikki Haley was past her prime. Mr. Lemon unfortunately made the mistake of thinking that a woman's reproductive years was the same as her intellectual and cognitive abilities. CNN took him off the air, said he would remain off the air until he had finished sensitivity training. In his case, I hope that sensitivity training lasts forever. Major League Baseball has introduced a pitch clock to speed up the game, but the numbers are confusing. 20 seconds to throw if someone is on base, 15 seconds to pitch if the bases are empty. 9 seconds left, the catcher must be ready, and 8 seconds left, the batter must be ready. Any violation of these times and it's either a strike or a ball. I think I'll stick to football. The Supreme Court is deciding whether the big tech social media companies like Facebook, Google, and Twitter are responsible for the deaths as a result of terrorist attacks. At issue is Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act of 1996, which says that big tech companies are not responsible for the content that they carry on their sites that was produced by somebody else. The families of the victims allege that the companies should be responsible because the algorithms that the companies use promoted harmful content. As sad as these deaths are, the big companies are not responsible for the deaths, and the Supreme Court should say so. The Iowa General Assembly is debating whether children under the age of 18 should be barred from receiving gender-affirmative medical treatment. That's language that the LGBTQ activist community uses. That means sex change operations and hormone treatments. You remember what we were like when we were teenagers. we didn't know enough about anything to make any kind of intelligent choices, let alone life-changing decisions about our bodies. Responsible parents and physicians should say no to these children. But when these kids reach the age of 18 or young adults, they can do anything they want. Friday, I had esophageal dilation. That's a fancy medical term for expanding my esophagus so that I could swallow easier. I was having trouble swallowing, and I was also having some stomach discomfort. The procedure went well. Everything is okay. I got a clean bill of health. I'm all right. But as my wife lovingly said afterward, you just eat too much junk food. Probably. That's it. Thank you. See you next time.